What's up, YouTube? This is James coming back at you with another informative video. I hope everybody's doing well out there on this Thursday. I'm doing pretty good myself. I come across this story right here that actually happened, it was aired on May 19th, okay, last week. And it's about this Grubhub driver in Chicago that actually ran over, you know what I mean, a sister, you know, and it basically with impunity. He didn't give a damn about her health at all, you know. Let's check this video out and then I'll get into my commentary.
Exactly, Brad and Erica. He used a car as a weapon, but it turns out he didn't even have a license to drive, which then led us to ask Grubhub, how does someone without a license pass a background check to become a driver? Well, it turns out he didn't even work for Grubhub.
30-year-old Amir Muhammad is charged with 3 felonies for this hit and run caught on camera. On Friday, he was picking up food from Ms. T's Southern Fried Chicken through the Grubhub app, but now we're learning the driver didn't even have a valid Illinois license. In fact, the Secretary of State's office says he never has. We reached back out to Grubhub to ask, how does someone get approved to be a driver for a delivery app without a license? They say all of their drivers have to pass background checks, but it turns out Grubhub says he passed because he was using someone else's identity, which Grubhub calls, quote, a fraudulent misuse of our platform. And that Toyota Prius he was driving was rented through a service that loans cars to delivery drivers. The same car that just days ago knocked 24-year-old Bijan Early to the ground in moments caught on cameras too graphic to share, but her mother described for us on Saturday.
She was on the hood of the car, and that's when he stopped. She fell.
Mom Anjanita Tanner owns the restaurant where they got into an argument with the suspect over social distancing inside when he refused to wait for food outside. That led to this moment. You can see Bijan Early waiting for police. He threatens to run her over, and then moments later,
He ran over. You don't do another human being like that.
the 24-year-old had just graduated college in December and wanted to teach children using sign language. She's now in the ICU with broken arms, legs, and pelvis. The next night, hours after our story aired, the driver, Muhammad, turned himself into police. Grubhub tells us they have terminated the contract of the driver whose identity Muhammad was using. Neither Grubhub nor police will tell us anything about him, so that could be a stranger, it could be someone he knew. As for Bijan, she remains here in the ICU, but one piece of good news, her mother tells us she woke up this morning and they were able to talk for the first time in several days. Live from Illinois Masonic, Marissa Parra, CBS 2 News.
So, this is a criminal, Arab, you understand, that might be in this country under diplomatic immunity, okay? That has no regard, another animal, you know what I mean, that doesn't have regard for a human life whatsoever, okay? Grubhub is trying to distance themselves from a lawsuit, basically. That's what all this boils down to. Because if their background checks was all of that, you know, top notch, and guess what? They would have found out that this guy right here had a fake identity. You see what I mean? And that's just all there is to it. You know, he didn't even have a driver's license. But, you know, no, sue Grubhub. They are liable for this situation that took place right here, because they need to vet these people a lot better than what they're doing. And that's just all there is. There's no excuse for them. They're just trying to get out of being sued. And as for this, his name is Amir Muhammad. You know, Amir Muhammad. It says here, though, as we know, Chicago Grubhub driver charged after woman run over on video. You know, he had a belligerent attitude in the first fucking place. And I be seeing, you know, even, you know, where I'm at, you know, and I know they from state to state, city to city. You know, these types right here, you know, own basically gas stations and little corner stores and stuff like that. You know, a lot of their attitudes are just terrible, bad, you know, and what a lot of our people that just ain't gonna fucking do, regardless, I'm gonna say it anyway, stay out of them fucking stores. You know what I mean? Stay out of those places right there. You know what I mean? A lot of their gas is bad on your car any fucking way. Okay, gas, I don't know, got some kind of additive or some shit like that to the point to where it'll mess up your head gaskets. You see, not head gas, but yeah, head gaskets, not the cam covers, but the head gasket itself. That's if you have an overhead valve engine, overhead cam engine. Sorry about that. And what it does is cause oil. It messed that gasket up so bad to where it caused oil to leak out, around the engine or some kind of way up into where the spark ignites within the cylinder. You know what I mean? And cause a lot of problems. Cause you a lot of money to get fixed. You see, so I go out on my way anytime, shells don't deal with. I always pretty much go to places like BP, you know what I mean, or what have you. But let's check this article out for ourselves. It says here a food delivery driver is accused of running over a Chicago restaurant employee and dragging her several feet during a confrontation that began over social distancing requirements. Last week, according to media reports, Amir Muhammad, 30, faces multiple felonies, including aggravated battery, failing to report an accident involving injury, and misdemeanor counts of leaving the scene of an accident and driving without a license, stemming from the Friday incident outside Mrs. T's Southern Fried Chicken on the city's north side. Muhammad went to the restaurant around 6 p.m. to pick up a Grubhub delivery when he was told to wait outside because of social distancing requirements. He allegedly kicked and slammed the door instead and went to his car to try and leave. All right. I wish, the sister had went in here and just let the bastard left. You know what I mean? Because he, fuck him. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, he had no business whatsoever running over that woman. He had no business doing that. All of that shit was uncalled for. All the way around, you see? No regard for human beings' life. And that seems to be the narrative now in this country. For a while it's been like that. But at some point in time, so-called black people are going to have to start combating these kind of situations. Whether it be with, against the ones that cause death, that wear badges, or these lowlifes like this you see, you know what I mean, in front of you. Or even now, also the narrative is you got to answer to some pigskin motherfucker that wants to accost you when you go somewhere. What are you doing here? You understand what I mean? How'd you get in here? What's your name? What have you. You don't owe these motherfuckers no explanation for anything. It's all about protecting yourself. You see what I mean? It's all about, you don't let no motherfucker walk up on you questioning you about a damn thing. If you going about your merry way, you out in public, you in the stores, a gym, whatever. If you doing your job, if you on your job and some motherfucker come at you, you ask them who the fuck are you and what you doing questioning me about who I am. You understand me? I don't owe you no explanation for nothing. That is if you ain't on their property. You see, it's time to take all of the shit that we do to one another and aim it at the fucking enemy. And that's just basically all it boils down to. But to continue, in conclusion here, it says restaurant staffs followed him and told him the police were being called. Muhammad allegedly threatened to run over 24-year-old female employee, prosecutors said, and drove forward. He allegedly dragged her 20 to 30 feet while her body was on top of the hood and her legs were underneath. Damn. The Chicago Sun-Times reported, as the victim and the witness, one stood next to the defendant's car. The defendant drove forward, striking the victim with his car. Assistant State's Attorney James Murphy said Tuesday. After striking the victim, the defendant dragged the victim with her body on the hood of the car and her legs underneath. Damn. I hope she don't wind up crippled behind this shit. A witness recorded part of the confrontation and uploaded it online, according to the newspaper. The woman was hospitalized with 2 broken shoulders and broken arms and pelvis lacerations and bruises across her body, Murphy said. She remains in intensive care unit as of Tuesday. You know, I guess she should be, I think she'll be coming out of this pretty good, man. Gonna be a lot of pain, you know, and what have you. But I think she'll come out of this, you know. It says here, it says Muhammad turned himself over to police and is being held on $5,000 bond. The vehicle he was driving is registered to a third party that loans vehicles to Grubhub's drivers for half of their profits, according to the Times. The driver whose account he was using has been banned by the platform, the company said. Like I said, Grubhub trying to distance themselves out of a lawsuit, but they're responsible for this shit. That's just all there is to it. And I bet you a lot of them are functioning in our society under unlawful means. You see what I mean? No driver's license, you know what I mean? Don't even have, you know, a car to be doing the kind of, just like this guy right here, whatever it is. You know, they fake names, all that kind of shit, you know. But like I said, man, past due time to fight and defend ourselves, okay? For those of you that, you know, figure that you can reason and talk your way out with an animal that don't give a fuck about your life, why should you care about his, you know? Because all of the fighting's coming. The fighting is coming. The fighting, basically, it's been said that black people are in a war. This ain't been no war. You know what I mean? What this has been is tyranny placed upon black people. And black people has not been fighting back. See, a war is actually when you got two opposing sides. You know, other words, you throw a bullet over here, kill one of ours. We throwing several bullets back at you and kill several more of you. You see, that's a war. Until somebody comes to the conclusion about who's best. Basically, that's what it all boils down to. Black people we used to back in the day, but somewhere along the line, as the baton was passed to the next generation, it got a little bit too relaxed. You see what I'm saying? Relaxed. Pretty much. So it's time to, we got a lot of shit that's going right before our eyes that the Most High is allowing us to see. And it's time to get up out of that relaxation and go to work. Y'all tell me what y'all think about this story right here. I'm interested in hearing y'all thoughts, views, and opinions on it. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. People, please remember to live your life as though we are being watched. Simply because we are, this is James, and I'm out. Peace.